The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame Museum in Cleveland is home to the largest collection of Elvis artifacts outside of Graceland as far as a permanent exhibit goes. It's done with our cooperation with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and it will always remain that way because Elvis definitely belongs here in Cleveland. Graceland and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame have always had a really great working relationship together to make sure that Elvis was represented here in Cleveland and to help tell the story of the beginning of rock music that got started back in the early 50s in Memphis and around Sun Studios. It was important that Elvis be here, and working with the Rock Hall to tell that side of the story. We tell that story very well in Memphis, so it's great to be able to express it here in Cleveland as well. The story that we tell at Graceland is a little bit different because we're not as focused on Elvis's place in the bigger picture. It's all about what Elvis did, and mainly wrapped around his house versus his place with all the other artists that are represented here. I work really closely with Howard Kramer, who is in the curatorial staff here at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and we basically start from what are the anniversaries, what are the big highlights coming up in the next time that we change out artifacts, and then we start looking at the collection, and we go through not only just the obvious wardrobe, jumpsuits, awards, but we actually dig deep into our archives at Graceland and go through documents and posters and memorabilia to tell a complete story about the different sections that we're highlighting for that time in the part of the exhibit. This time around, Howard came to Memphis, and we sat down and we started looking at the calendar to see what the major anniversaries that were coming up. And of course, the most obvious one was the 45th anniversary of Elvis's 1968 NBC television show. So we kind of started there, and what iconic piece from that special could we start wrapping this exhibition around? And the one piece that we are loaning for part of the exhibit is the white suit that Elvis wore at the very end of the show when he sang the song If I Can Dream. Now, besides the 68 special, we also decided to go back and look at Elvis's Army career. It's also the anniversary of him being inducted into the Army and then going to Germany for 2 years. So we're going to be highlighting Elvis's Army career. And just kind of as a special side note, we've actually, for the very first time, have loaned to the Rock Hall several pieces from Elvis's jewelry collection. We don't have much jewelry that Elvis left us. He gave a lot of it away. So we keep it very close to home. So this is the first time that the jewelry has been displayed so extensively outside of Memphis. The double neck Gibson that's being used in the display is from Elvis's movie Spin Out. The unique thing about all of the instruments for that film is that instead of using props that were been provided from the studio, Elvis actually went out and purchased all of the equipment because he was taking it home in the evenings and actually trying to record some music at the house in Beverly Hills at the time. So the guitar not only represents Elvis's film, but also represents kind of him as an artist and creating new music during the time. Elvis and cars go hand in hand. Even when Elvis first got it started in the 50s, the cars were kind of a status symbol that he had made it when he was able to purchase more than one. In 1975, Elvis actually had 3 super trikes, is what they're called, custom made. He bought them all within a week at a local dealer in Memphis. One of them is actually on display here as part of our new Elvis exhibit at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.